What is up, everybody? Hope you're having a fantastic day. It's Dadbot here, and welcome back to part 6 of my Bloodborne walkthrough. In this episode, we are going to take on the Blood-Starved Beast, which for us is going to be the third boss of the game. Previously, we made our way through Old Yhar'gul. We encountered our friend Jura, who tried to shoot us down with his massive Gatling gun. Fortunately for us, he did not succeed. So, here we are. As I mentioned before, this is technically an optional boss of the game. Since we did kill the Cleric Beast, we can technically spend 10,000 Blood Echoes on the Hunter Chief emblem, and that will allow us to get through the gate that will allow us passage to the remaining portion of the Cathedral Ward. However, the Blood-Starved Beast does do some good things for us when we kill him. Namely, he drops one of the holy chalices that our friend Garmit made reference to, and also he triggers, when you beat him, it triggers the opening of a door in Udden's chapel that will allow us to access some things that would otherwise not be accessible. So with that being said, we're going to take him on and we are going to kill him. As with the other bosses, I'm going to do my best to show you his moveset. It might get me killed in the process. We will see. I will do my best to kill him, though. Equipped, we have our fire paper, which is very important for this fight. Our fire paper is going to increase our damage output, especially since we are facing a beast here. It even does even better because beasts in this game are weak against fire. We also have our pungent blood cocktails. That sort of acts as, you throw it like a Molotov cocktail, but it acts as bait for a beast type enemy. They are attracted to it, so they will go to where that strong scent of blood is, and they'll hang out there for a few seconds and let you get a few nice little hits in. We also have our antidotes equipped. When he gets into his second and third phases, he can poison you pretty quickly, so it is important to have those antidotes handy to get rid of the poison, so that way you can heal up and resume the fight. If he has you poisoned and he gets a couple licks on you, you're going to die pretty quickly. We also have our Molotov cocktails equipped. We may or may not use those, but we shall see. So most importantly, our fire paper. He's going to aggro to us when we get to about that third column, fourth column maybe, so let's go on and throw that on there pretty much right when we get to that point, and then he will start to attack us. Alright, there we go. Got the fire paper ready, and he sees us. So, he is smaller than the Cleric Beast, as you can tell, so he moves a lot faster. But the strategy overall is the same. Roll through his attacks, get behind him, and get a few shots in while you can. So you see I just rolled right through his attack and hit him a couple times, and we're doing some pretty good damage to him, especially since we have that fire paper equipped. But you know, his attacks are very dodgeable, but he does move quick, so sometimes it's hard to get behind him and get those hits in. In that case, he moved pretty far, pretty fast, so he broke our lock-on and made it a little bit difficult for us to get back to him since we had a re-lock on. Alright, he did get a hit on us there, but that's okay. We dodged through him. Let's show you what a blood cocktail does. It's good to throw him in this corner right here, because it lures him and he's at a dead end. And it allows us to get a few really good hits on him. So you'll see he's attracted to that scent, and we totally just whiffed on him a few times, but still afforded us a few good shots well, without having to worry much. So he just transformed into his second form, so he can poison us now, and he's more aggressive. So let's throw another cocktail. Let's get some fire paper on, and let's wait for him to go to it, and let's get a few hits on him while we can. He does move quick, so it can be difficult to get hits on. But you can see that cocktail distracts him for a good few seconds, and it does prove to be quite useful. Alright, so one hit almost got us all the way poisoned, if you notice there. So he's in his third form now, and you'll see we are poisoned now, so we gotta take that off quickly with an antidote. He moves very fast now, and you'll see that kind of mist that emits from him. That will poison you if you're too close to him. You'll see we took a little bit of slow poison build up there, even before he hit us. So now let's resume. Oh, he grabbed us, and that's a pretty deadly attack. That might get us. I think it just killed us. So we did die there. This is my first death to a boss in this playthrough. That's just okay. You know, this will allow me to kind of show you the sort of walk of shame going back to a boss, because we are going to respawn at that lantern right at the beginning of Old Yhar'gul. So generally when I'm going back to a boss, if I have to replay a boss, let's get the hand lantern equipped. Generally when I'm going back to a boss, I'm just going to run past the enemies for the most part. Unless they are just really in our way, I'm not going to even bother attacking them. And you know, in that case, it eliminates quite a bit of the process of walking back if you just don't bother with the enemies. So we're just going to run by most, if not all of them, on our way back. And it's not going to take us very long to get back. One thing I do want to point out is when you lose to a boss battle, the boss will not eat your blood echoes. Your blood echoes will be a stain on the ground in the boss room. And so that is generally the first thing I'll do, is when I go back to the boss fight, is I'm going to pick up my blood echoes and then resume the boss fight. So fortunately, you don't have to kill the boss to get your blood echoes back. Let's see, that's about it. Yeah, no, we're already back here, so it's not a bad run. And again, if you really are struggling with the boss, you can summon Alfred right over there. I'm not going to do it because I don't want to risk him getting killed. And as soon as we go through this gate, he's going to aggro. Sometimes it's good to look ahead and see if you can spot where your bloodstain is, so you know kind of where you're going. I think I see it there towards the back. So that's going to be the first thing I do. And since I've already shown you his moveset, in this instance, I'm just going to focus on killing him. I'm not really going to talk a whole lot. I'm just going to roll through his first attack and then go get my blood echoes. There we go. Got him. Alright. Put our fire paper on. See what we can do here. Roll away. Got a few good hits on him. Did some good damage. Alright. He moves quick. He's gonna transform soon. Right, let's get a cocktail ready. Let's throw a cocktail over here. All right, come on. There you go. Good boy. Good boy. Attack nothing. Transform attacks work pretty well on him too. And third phase. Let's throw another cocktail. Whoops. He got poison on us. This isn't good. This is not good. Heal. Heal. And antidote. Let's top off our health. Alright. Let's see if we can get fire paper back on. Maybe that's being too greedy. Yep. He didn't like us putting fire paper back on. But that's okay. He's very aggressive in this third phase, if you couldn't tell. Alright. Get our antidote. And does his roar. That roar will poison you if you're too close. Alright. Let's top off our health. Go back to our regular strat here of dodging through. Get him from behind. And we're taking that poison buildup, as you can see. He might get us poisoned again if we're not careful. Alright. We almost got him. You can see he's very aggressive. It's just a matter of just being careful. Try not to take shots. Roll through his attacks, and that mist is just annoying. Just because if you're even around it, it's going to start that poison buildup. All right, let's get him right here. All right, our fire paper wore off, and we're poisoned. But I'm going to be. I was going to try to be greedy and get him. He's got like 1 HP left. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Let's heal. You'll see just how aggressive he is. He doesn't play games. There we go. We got the kill. Whew. That was tough. He's a very aggressive, very quick enemy. When you do get the kill, make sure you're not poisoned. The first time I beat him in my first playthrough, I wasn't paying attention. I got the kill. I was poisoned and didn't know it, and I ended up dying of poison right after I killed him. But fortunately, I mean, he's a boss. He's not going to respawn, so I just had to make my way back to this area. Search body. There's some antidotes back here if you need some. And then, of course, we have a lamp, but this lamp's at a dead end. So, with that being said, congratulations. We just killed the blood-starved beast. He is formidable. and he is no joke. So let's go back to the Hunter's Dream. That is literally just a dead end. There's nowhere else to go beyond that, so your best course of action at that point is just to warp back. So here we are at the Hunter's Dream, and we've got some blood echoes, which is nice. Alright, so when we killed the blood-starved beast, we did pick up something pretty nice here. The Thumaru Chalice, a ritual chalice found in the Church of the Good Chalice. Used in a ritual at the tomb altar in the Hunter's Dream to break the seal of the old underground labyrinth. Let the chalice reveal the tomb of the gods. Let blood be the hunter's nourishment, and let ye partake in communion. So, if you've explored the Hunter's Dream, you may be wondering what these altars are for. And these altars are for creating chalice dungeons. So chalice dungeons appear when you use one of the chalices that you have, and there's a requirement of items that you need to use along with the chalice to conduct the ritual. Let's see, that one is for a root chalice, which we don't have yet. So this is the first ritual altar. This is the one we want to go to. Alright, here we go. Use the ritual altar to create a chalice dungeon with a chalice ritual, or to search for chalice dungeons created by hunters in other worlds. So here we can select a chalice ritual, and for this first dungeon you need to have the Thumaru Chalice, 2 Tier 1 ritual bloods, which we picked up at the altar in Old Yarnum, and you need 1,000 blood echoes. So the chalice dungeons are not central to the main game. You can beat the entire game without doing any of the chalice dungeons. The chalice dungeons are just kind of their own thing. There's some bosses that are unique to the chalice dungeons, and so I'm actually debating on whether or not I'm going to go through the chalice dungeons in this playthrough. When I do them, I don't do them until the very end, just because some of the later ones are extraordinarily tough, so I don't even start the process until later on in the game. When we're at end game levels, the first ones are really easy, but then they will get very difficult very quickly, so I generally do save them for last. I may or may not go through them. If you're a trophy hunter, there are 2 trophies that require you to go through the chalice dungeons. I'm just going to level up while I'm talking.
Very well.
There are 2 trophies that require. There's 1 weapon within the chalices, chalice dungeons, that you are required to get if you do want the all weapons trophy, and then there is a boss at the very end of the chalice dungeons that you have to kill that also gives you another trophy. So all the other trophies besides those 2 can be gotten from the main game, and you know, it is quite an undertaking to get through all of them. It takes a good while. They are repetitive and sort of redundant, so it's not, the gameplay isn't all that exciting except for the bosses, just because each chalice dungeon is, you know, it's kind of the same layout for the most part. There are a couple extra twists and turns in some other ones, but for the most part it's sort of the same thing over and over and over again until you get to the end. So that's kind of the reason why I am debating on whether or not I do want to go into it. So, all that being said, here is Gehrman ready to talk to us again.
The healing church and the blood ministers who belong to it were once guardians of the hunters in the times of the hunter Ludwig. They worked and forged weapons in their unique workshop. Today, most ministers don't recall the hunters, but they have much to offer you. And so, heed the message of your forebears. Ascend to Yahar'gul Chapter. Ascend.
Alright, so here he says ascend to Odin Chapel, and you will find the Hunter's Workshop. So as I mentioned earlier, Gehrman is the first hunter, and he is the founder of the Hunter's Workshop. And that is something that we will learn a little bit more about, and probably in the next video or 2 we'll get there, and it's actually pretty cool. So there's some interesting lore that is attached to our friend Gehrman, and how he plays into the Healing Church and various goings on with the Healing Church. Before I proceed forward, there's actually something I want to show you. I don't necessarily need to do it right now, but it's a good opportunity to do so because you might find yourself in the position where you need some more blood vials. So I'm going to show you my favorite blood vial farming route. And this is actually a route that I use in the beginning of the game. This is a route that I use at the end of the game. It is a very efficient means to farm blood vials very quickly. And it is in Central Yharnam. Okay, so here we are, back in Central Yharnam, and I'm going to equip the Kirkhammer for this. Because why not? Alright, so let's take care of this guy. Sometimes he drops blood vials. Not always, but it is a chance. So we start here, and then we're going to go down here and kill our little ogre trolls. Actually, our big trolls. They're not little. Whoops, it's a little late there on the parry. But no matter. Got him in one visceral. Up. Was early that time. Ah. Alright, screw you. Alright, didn't even need to do the visceral. We're strong enough now to where viscerals are nice, but they're not required to kill these guys. So most of the time they'll drop 2 blood vials. Sometimes they drop shining coins. Shining coins in my mind are fairly useless. I don't really use them hardly at all. They just kind of can show you where you've been and provide a path, I guess, a little shining path of where you've explored. So that guy sometimes will drop blood vials. This guy, of course, always drops our 4 Quicksilver bullets, so we're going to kill him. Alright, next step is to go up here and kill the 2 guys that are waiting for us up here. Sometimes they drop blood vials, but not always. Alright, none from him. And this only takes a couple minutes to do, which is nice. And you can get quite a few blood vials from doing it. So let's kill this guy at the top. Sometimes he'll drop something. Now the next step is why I have the Kirkhammer equipped. You want to lure these 2 beasts down here. I think I've showed you this before where they get stuck at the door. Now that we have the Kirkhammer equipped, we can do some pretty killer damage to these guys. So let's do a charge attack. Look at that. 1 combo kills him. Alright, that guy got 1 hit on us, but not too bad. 1 combo. Whoops, I didn't have enough stamina to pull off the combo, but I got another hit on him anyways. These guys usually drop 3 apiece. So you see both of them, in this case, dropped 3 blood vials. So that's a total of 6 just for killing those guys. And these trolls usually will drop 2. So we're going to fight 3 of the trolls every time we do this route. So that's a potential of 6 from the trolls, 6 from those beasts. And then occasionally some of those other enemies that we kill along the way will drop some blood vials for us. The crow's not even worth our while. He drops shining coins. So at that point, that's pretty much the end of the route. So your options are either, if you want to kind of expedite the process, you can use a bold hunter's mark, and that'll warp you directly back to the Central Yharnam lamp. Or you can use this lamp, which we're going to do, to go back to the Hunter's Dream, and then you can warp back to Central Yharnam from the Hunter's Dream. If you use a bold hunter's mark, of course, you're going to expend a bold hunter's mark, one of them, but it cuts off a loading screen, essentially, so it makes the process a little bit faster. My goal with this playthrough is to do as little off-screen as possible. At this point, I really haven't done anything off-screen, and so that includes blood vial farming, and that's just a good route that I use all throughout the game. I think that one yielded us a good, probably 12-ish or 14-ish blood vials. So you do that twice, and you're already at your max at 20. And then also, of course, you do get blood echoes from killing the enemy. So one thing that I do from time to time is I will use those blood echoes that I gathered from that farming route just to purchase some additional blood vials. Because those are blood vials that I wouldn't have had unless I did my farming route. So we'll just say I'll get an extra 5 from doing that. And that's a good way of kind of going about it. So also a good demonstration of the Kirkhammer and how powerful that charge attack is. It is a very slow charge attack, so that's why I made sure they were kind of lured to that choke point before I did the charge attack, because if you do it out in the open, it's you're kind of leaving yourself open to attacks. All right, there's nothing else for us at the Insight shop. So let's go back to the Cathedral Ward. Show off some stuff. So the Cathedral Ward, or what this is going to take us back to Udin's Chapel, is going to look slightly different than what it did before. And the reason for that is because we just killed the blood-starved beast. So I will show you that. And then we will proceed on through some new material here, which should be interesting. Okay, so here we are back at the Cathedral Ward. So, that door I was mentioning earlier that did not open, that was not open before, was this door. And the only way to get this door open, at least that I'm aware of, is to kill the blood-starved beast. And here we have an elevator waiting for us. We're not going to go all the way up the elevator yet, but I am going to show you a secret. If you trigger the elevator, turn back, there's actually a spot you can roll off. And that is very easy to miss if you're not looking for it. So you can roll off there, and it takes you to this secret little area. You follow this path all the way around here. Then drop down. There is a treasure chest. And inside of this treasure chest is our first Carol rune, the Formless Udn. So we haven't really gotten to Carol runes yet. A, because this is the first one that we've obtained in our playthrough, and B, because even though we have one, we can't equip them yet. But, nonetheless, let's take a look. Alright, the Formless Udn Carol rune. One of the Udn runes, higher Quicksilver Bullet max. So you'll see the Carol rune effect is max Quicksilver Bullets held up +4. So once we get to the point where we can equip Carol runes, we can equip this one and get our max Quicksilver Bullets cap increased. So like anything else, this has an item description. A secret symbol left by Carol, the runesmith of Bergenworth. The Great One Udn, lacking form, exists only in voice, and is symbolized by this rune. Those who memorize it enjoy a larger supply of Quicksilver bullets. Human or no, the oozing blood is a medium of the highest grade, and the essence of the formless Great One Udn. Both Udn and his inadvertent worshippers surreptitiously seek the precious blood. So Udn is one of the Great Ones, and as that rune tells us, he does not have any form. He just kind of exists, and you know, he is obviously fairly powerful. So now we have Messenger of the Urn Festival. That is much like the red bandages or whatever that we received in Old Yarnum. Those are it's just kind of cosmetic appearance stuff you can equip to the messengers, and so they'll be wearing it if you do equip it. Now the only way back is down, and you're going to take damage if you fall, but it literally is the only way back. It's not going to kill you. Just going to take a little bit of damage there. So there is more to that door, but we are going to get to that later. There's something else I want to show you first. So when we went to Old Yarn and we went down this path, there's also another possible path you can go to from Udn's Chapel, and that is through here. And there are a few enemies awaiting us, namely one of these guys. Very easy to parry. You hit them anywhere in their attack animation pretty much, and they will get the parry, and you can do an easy visceral. They do drop blood vials. You'll notice we're up to 6 insight now. So not bad. And I mentioned insight. You'll see these guys, when you get to 15 insight, these guys will start shooting projectiles from their lanterns that they're holding. So be careful of that. I'd mentioned when you get more insight, you know, some things in the environment, or in this case enemy behavior, start to change. And so, you know, that doesn't happen until you get to 15. It might be 10, but I'm pretty sure it's 15 insight. But we're not quite there yet, so we don't really have to worry about that enhanced attack from these guys. Okay, super easy to parry. So this is another locked gate. We cannot proceed through here. However, if we proceed through that door that we opened from beating the Bloodstar Beast, we can actually get behind here and open this gate from behind. And so we're going to be doing that later. But first, here is an item, the wooden shield. Those of you who are familiar with Dark Souls, you know, you're more accustomed to having a shield equipped pretty much at all times. That's your play style with Dark Souls. Bloodborne does not really use shields, however it kind of throws you a bone with this one. But if you read the description, a crude wooden shield used by the masses who have arisen to join the hunt. Hunters do not normally employ shields, ineffectual against the strength of beasts as they tend to be. Shields are nice, but not if they engender passivity. So this is kind of saying, hey, you can use it, but we don't recommend it. And I don't recommend it either. It takes your left-hand slot away. You can't carry a gun while you're carrying a shield. And it's really not how this game is intended to be played anyways. So, after killing the Bloodstar Beast, there's a new enemy that spawns in this area. You can explore this area, this tiny little nook, before killing the Bloodstar Beast. However, if you come here before killing the Bloodstar Beast, you're not going to see this guy. This guy only spawns after killing the Bloodstar Beast, and he hits hard. This guy is known as a snatcher or a kidnapper. Before we engage him, we're going to get that item back there in the corner. I believe it's a Madman's Knowledge. Yep. And that attack just kind of draws you in. Now, here's the thing. You can fight him and kill him. He's very difficult to kill. If you let him kill you, which we're going to do, you will warp to a new area of the game. Very interesting indeed. So that was an intentional death, and you'll see why in just a minute. And there are, this place that we're going has some interesting lore when it comes to the game. So you get killed, you'll see this cutscene. He kind of picks you up and puts you in his sack. Alright. Here we are. Okay, this is Yahar'gul Unseen Village, and more specifically the Hypogean Jail. So we are in a jail cell. So that guy, that snatcher, he just killed us and kidnapped us. And so you notice we did lose all of our blood echoes, but I intentionally had a relatively small number of blood echoes before I let him kill me, just because if we don't manage to get out of here and get back to those blood echoes, we might lose them permanently. But it's a small enough amount to where if I do lose them permanently, I'm not going to be all that bent out of shape about it. So this is the Hypogean Jail and Yahar'gul Unseen Village. The lore implications of this area are large, and that Yahar'gul is the home of the School of Mensis, which is one of the branches of the Healing Church. You'll see this guy is actually one of the students of Mensis, and I can tell because he's wearing a Mensis cage on his head, and that's something that we'll learn a little bit more about later as well. So the School of Mensis was one of the branches of the Healing Church, and they kind of went astray and started doing their own thing at some point outside of the bounds of what the Healing Church initially approved for them to do. They kind of went rogue, so to speak. And so part of what they did was they were doing some research and experiments, and some of those experiments were on humans. And so that's where those snatchers or kidnappers come into play. Is those snatchers would operate under the cover of night and would just kidnap people and take them here in order for them to be experimented on by the School of Mensis. So this is pretty strange and ominous stuff here. So madmen toil surreptitiously in rituals to beckon the moon, uncover their secrets. And here we have an item. Thick Cold Blood Tier 6. That is quite nifty. That's probably our highest one that we've got so far. So we're going to start by going down here. Notice some of these lore notes are referring to the moon.
In the name of the Healing Church, cleanse us of this horrible dream.
Poor girl. So a lot of these notes are, not a lot of them, but some of these notes are referring to the moon. So perhaps the moon has something to do with the linkage between man and beast in the Scourge of the Beasts. So keep that in mind as we continue on in our playthrough. Frenzied Cold Blood Tier 7. So we're getting some Tier 7 Cold Blood. So here we have one of our NPCs. This was the lady who was talking before.
Please leave me be. Don't let me. Please. Oh, please.
She's scared that we're going to hurt her. Now, you remember I mentioned earlier, might be a good idea to pick up that Father Gascoigne garb because you needed it to talk to an NPC. Well, here's where you wear it. She's wearing the Black Church garb. That is Healing Church attire. We are also wearing technically Healing Church attire, even though it's specific to Father Gascoigne. So let's talk to her again and see if she has a different reaction to us.
By your garb, the Healing Church, you've come to save me. Oh, thank you, dear saint. I have no words to express my relief. You can take this, at least.
Thank you.
Sure to please an upstanding member of the church like you. Oh, thank you so much, dear gods.
Okay, talk to her again.
Thank you so much. I was seized on the street by a hulking brute in the cathedral ward and locked up here. There were many others, but they've been taken away. And I've heard moans echoing in the distance ever since.
So she was taken by a snatcher as well. That's how she wound up here.
So, the hunt is on tonight. Then the streets are perilous, and every door will be shut tight. Perhaps it isn't my place to ask, but do you know somewhere that might take me in?
Aha, there it is. So she is a person that we can send to Udden Chapel, and you do not get this prompt unless you are wearing some form of healing church garb, which at this point in our playthrough, the only one we have is Father Gascoigne. There are some others out there if you explore further into Cathedral Ward, but we haven't gotten there yet, so this is all we got. So let's tell her of Udden Chapel. Let's be nice. Let's send her there.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll set out as soon as I can. I pray for success on your hunt, kind hunter.
All right. So next time we find ourselves in Udden Chapel, she's going to be there, and we can talk to her and interact with her. So as I said, she is a Healing Church member. She's wearing the black church garb. And, you know, she's pretty nice to us, at least from what we can tell so far. And, you know, she's just a good presence to have around, I guess. Just want to make sure that I show you guys everything we can do here with sending people to Udden Chapel. Alright, so now let's backtrack to where we were before. That's just a dead end down there. And again, this area is actually optional at this point in the game. We're going to get back here later. It is mandatory later in the game, but getting here this early by way of getting killed by a snatcher is optional, so we do not have to do this, but that is the only way to get her to join you and go to Udden's Chapel, if you do it at this point in the game rather than later. So if we go upstairs here, I hear a wandering, I forget where he is. There's a skull head up here. Yeah, he just disappeared on us. Alright, careful up these stairs. There are snatchers. You do not want to get hit by one. They can nearly one-shot you if you're not careful. But I wanted to come up here to get the lamp, just for the lamp. And there is a lore note right here as well. Nightmarish rituals crave a newborn. Find one and silence its harrowing cry. So some of these notes are going to start referencing rituals. So one of the things about the School of Mensis is they were obsessed with certain rituals that they were trying to perform in order to, I guess, get closer to unlocking the truth and ascending up to that level of the Great Ones. These rituals that they were performing were not necessarily for the best of all people, as you can imagine that they were experimenting on people and things like that, so they were not necessarily all above board. So let's go through here. Be careful. Once you go through this door, there are these witches that you saw. One of them just run by, and they will grab you and do lots of damage. So the best thing to do is to pop in, grab their attention, run back, and kill them in this little hallway. So we're going to get their attention, roll back. See, she almost grabbed me, and you do not want to get grabbed by one of these things. That is not good news. There's two of them in here, so you want to make sure that you get both of them before proceeding. I think this other one is around the corner. I can't tell, and I also don't want to get grabbed, so I'm just going to run straight through, see if I can locate her. Where is the witch? I do not want to get grabbed. There she is. Okay. Yeah, you do not want to get grabbed by their attack. So let's dispose of this one, and they make that horrible shriek. That's okay, and they drop pebbles and a bloodshot eyeball. A bloodshot eyeball is another Chalice dungeon item. They have no purpose other than for Chalice rituals. So here we've got some quicksilver bullets, and in these little cages over here, you'll see some blood on the floor. There are enemies laying on the ground. They are not dead. They will get up, but you can essentially kill them before they get up and start attacking you, so I recommend doing that. Good, nice little good source for some blood echoes. And some of them will drop items. Proceed on forward through there. There's a snatcher. And in here, much like the other cage, there's some bodies laying on the floor. So take care of them before they get up. Hopefully we'll get some drops, but maybe not. the very least we'll get the blood echoes. Okay. And so, going through this room here takes us to that same spot that we kind of peeked in at before. There's 2 snatchers in here. I'm gonna try to fight them. I recommend using the Kirk hammer if you can get a good charge attack. Ugh, look at that. And oh, I can't. Now in this case, they're berserked and they hit way harder and they move way faster. If you can manage to get behind them, get a charge attack, and visceral, that's going to be your best bet. But man, these attacks hit hard. Let's see if we can get it here. Ah, we missed. Well, we hit, but we didn't get the visceral. You do not want to get hit by one of these attacks. Oh, see, look at that damage. Oh goodness. Oh goodness, we're almost dead. And they have range, and they are very hard to kill at this point in the game. So if you die to them, don't feel too bad, because they can basically one-shot you. Ugh. Dang it. The best thing to do is to when they do their roar to charge up, the best thing to do is to let's go down here. The best thing to do is to get around them when they do that roar, and you can get an easy charge attack from behind them. But as you could see, he was in that doorway and I couldn't get behind him. Alright, let's see. Where did he go? Alright, let's see if I can sneak up on him now. That would be awesome if I could sneak up on him. Because when they're in this berserk stage, boy, do they hit hard. And it is very difficult to... dang it, he turned around. Alright. Ooh, got him. Whew. Yeah, these guys are tough. These guys are tough. But I'm doing this to show you some stuff, so... hopefully this will not all be in vain. Okay. So, there's another one in here. And maybe I can sneak up on him? I don't think so. Can I? Sweet. Alright, let's see if he'll do his roar. I think he's at enough HP where he'll do his roar. Yep, I got to chain the backstabs. So see, he was about to do his roar. I was able to get behind him and chain backstabs. And yeah, if you can chain the backstabs, then that's where you want him to be. Okay, we got that one much easier than the other one because we didn't allow him to power up and come after us. So you'll see he dropped twin bloodstone shards. Twin bloodstone shards, those are going to allow us to take our weapons up to the next tier. If we get enough of them. So those are quite good at this point in the game especially. So this way, if you take it... this takes us to a boss. Over there you'll see him laying on the ground. That is Dark Beast Parl. I don't recommend fighting him until about level 50. So we're going to come back here later and get him then. Because right now we're at level 27. So he's about a level 50-ish type boss. So I'm not going to take him on just yet, but I did want to show him to you, just the fact that he exists over there. If you're feeling up to it, you can take him on. And there's also, the reason I'm being careful is if you drop down here, there's no way back except that way. You can see there's a summon over there as well if you want that to help you. He may be an old hunter summon. I can't remember if he's an old hunter summon. If he's an old hunter summon, you may not be able to summon him unless you have the DLC. I can't remember if he's an old hunter summon or just a regular NPC summon. Now we'll also say if you summon an NPC once you trigger the boss fight, or I think any time a summon is active actually, you cannot use a bold hunter's mark, so just be aware of that. So let's proceed. And you'll notice these snatchers, they are powerful. If you manage to kill them, you get some pretty good blood echoes from them. So one of them's facing forward, one of them's facing back. One facing forward just noticed me, so let's lure him over here. There's actually a way you can get these guys stuck. This is a very cheesy way of fighting them. I got the other two kind of legitimately, but these guys I'm just going to cheese them, and I'm going to show you how to do that in case you want to get these guys out of your way. So you want to lure them down to these stairs and have them follow you. They're too tall. They're going to get stuck right there. So if you get him stuck there, that doesn't do any damage to you. But if you get him stuck there, you can get some free hits on him. Alright, come on. Come on. So wait for their attack, charge attack the Kirkhammer, boom. And then rinse and repeat. Charge attack. And voila. We got him. Regular Bloodstone shards. Didn't give us the twins, but that's okay. So that's why we have the Kirkhammer, ladies and gentlemen. This thing works very well against these guys, and I like having it, if nothing else, just to fight these guys. In some playthroughs I do use it a little bit more. In this playthrough I didn't really pull it out much until this point, but you know, I don't know why. Just being lazy, I guess. I didn't feel like switching my weapons. So let's get this guy with a backstab. And let's see if we can chain our backstabs on him. Alright, stay behind him. And get a third one. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Success. Twin Bloodstone shards. Nice. So, oh, there's a witch. Be careful about these. They don't look menacing, but if they perform their grab attack on you, they do a considerable amount of damage. Is there another one over here? I can't remember. Does not look like it. Okay. Awesome. So let's pick up this. This is the Moon Rune. So this is another Carol rune. Let's go here. So the Moon Rune. Acquire more blood echoes. So if you have this one equipped, once we can equip our Carol runes, this particular rune will give us more blood echoes every time we kill an enemy, which is quite useful for farming. Alright, so let's proceed on through here. There's some goodies, some other goodies, and unfortunately there's more of those Snatcher enemies, but we'll do our best. And you recognize that noise? That is a pig. We know how to fight these, don't we? These are going to be a little bit stronger than the one we found in that little sewer tunnel. But the strategy's the same. Stay behind, get your charge attacks and viscerals, sneak up on them if you can. I'm not even going to bother with sneaking up, it's going to take too long. Alright. He did his little breath attack, allowed for an easy visceral. He's not dead yet. Let's see if we can chain our viscerals. There we go. Get the chain, and Mr. Piggy is disposed of. By far the best way to fight these guys, because otherwise they can charge at you. Here we have a note. Behold, a pale blood sky. That actually doesn't make sense until we come here later, but you know, if you remember our mission from the beginning of the game, we are seeking pale blood. So that is important, that word pale blood. Alright, so here we've got a dog. You can't really sneak up on them, they're going to notice you, so I'm just going to run up and kill them one at a time. This other one didn't even come after us. That's nice. Oh, but he ran around us. There we go. Alright, so we got both the dogs. Here we have some Madman's Knowledge. 3 of them. And that's a dead end. We cannot proceed further. And here we have the Yahar'gul armor set. So let's check this out. Black hooded iron helm. Also have the Yahar'gul black garb. So read it. Thick black pullover worn by hunters of the Unseen Village. The hunters of Yahar'gul answer to the village's founders, the School of Mensis. Hunters in name only, these kidnappers blend into the night wearing this attire. Designed primarily to defend from physical attacks, the binding of thick rope serves both to protect its wearer and to restrain its foes. So again, kind of expounding on that lore we talked about earlier about the School of Mensis and the Snatchers or Kidnappers. I don't believe there's anything else we can get over here, by the way. But yeah, so those kidnappers were not doing good things for people, unfortunately. And fortunately, we've been strong enough to deal with them to this point. All right, so let's do some a little bit of exploring here. See what else is around. I know there's some items littered throughout. Ooh, a skull head. Let's get him. You can tell he takes a lot of hits. The enemies in this area in general are fairly strong. As I said, it's completely optional. So, ooh, nice, twin bloodstone shards. So, as I said before, it is optional. So you can get here, talk to that NPC that we talked to, get her to come back to Uden Chapel with you, and then be done with it there, and warp back and just say, hey, I'm going to face all this later. So this takes us. This door leads back up to our lamp. So you can do that all together. I just want to kind of take you through here and show you what all this place has to offer at this point in the game, and some of you might find it useful. So I just want to make sure that I go into everything that we can expound upon. So you hear we've got another pig. Let's go over here first, though. Is there an enemy over here? Nope. We're not going to be able to summon that elevator. Let's go over here, see if there's anything. Nope, nothing over here. So next, anything back here? No. Okay. Oh, item. Nice. Frenzied Cold Blood Tier 8. Oof. Pretty cool. Alright. So we can also go down this path. Is this the path we just went down? I believe it is. So let's not go back down there. Let's go around this side. And there's going to be a Snatcher with 2 dogs. So this is not an easy way to go down, but again, I'm trying to show you all I can show you. I'm going to lure his dogs first. Maybe with a Molotov. Still have those equipped. See if I can throw one of those. Hit him. Nope, missed. Oh, there we go. Got one of them. Alright, bait the other one's bite and dispose of it quickly. Let's put our Kirk hammer back on for this guy. See if we can get some. I want to lure him back out. I want to lure him out into the open, so that way, if I can get him into his frenzied form, I can easily get behind him to get a backstab. So I just want to make sure I'm fighting kind of where I can do that efficiently. I feel like I can probably dodge his regular moves. Let's do this here. Nope. Didn't have the range I needed. Ooh, jeez. Golly. That damage. Alright, let's do this. Alright. He's gonna transform. Boom! Got him. And he's still alive, so let's make sure he doesn't get us. Alright, perfect. And regular bloodstone shards. Okay, good. We took care of that. Swiftly and quickly. Okay, so let's go down here. I believe, if nothing else, there might be some items down here. If nothing, there's an item, and then there's another door we can unlock. Which, when we come back here later, these doors that we unlock now are going to stay unlocked. The Tier 7 Cold Blood. And this takes us to the basement. Okay. So, nothing else around here. Oh, yes there is. Twin Bloodstone Shards. Definitely worth our while. Okay, so let's head back up these stairs. And we're actually almost done with this area, fortunately. Okay. So the only place we haven't gone is down this way, on the ground floor. And there are going to be a few items. Alright, here we've got a pig. He might actually charge at us. Yeah.
With a here and a there.
Oh, he made it through that? Oh, that is annoying. I thought he was going to get hung up. He made it straight through and just nailed us. Fortunately, I mean, we don't have to worry too much about enemies respawning just because we can run past a lot of them. So we are not going to lose too much time here. And we're going to respawn right at this lamp. And of course we unlocked this little shortcut. So, shortcuts are already becoming useful for us. Whenever you die and respawn, your hand lantern becomes unequipped, so I always re-equip it. I pretty much leave it on 100% of the time. This pig down here is gonna cause us trouble if we ignore him, so let's get this one first. Yeah, that pig charge attack, they'll really only do it if you're far enough away from them. but it is powerful, and I thought he was going to get hung up, and he didn't. So I paid dearly for it. Alright. Come on. Do something I can punish. Do something I can punish. There you go. Come on. There we go. Perfect. And another charge attack, and you're dead. Perfect. Alright. And we are... Those things give us 3,000 blood echoes apiece. Good grief. Okay. So let's pick up our blood echoes. We do not want to go those to go to waste. And I am saving these blood echoes for a reason. Alright. Not making the same mistake twice. I'm running away. And letting him do that so we can get in position for our normal strat. Alright, come on. Give me something I can punish. Especially since you killed me the first time. I'm not happy about it. Come on. There we go. And sayonara. Actually, you got a little bit of HP left, but not going to last for long. That's for what you did back there the first time. Not happy about it. So we're up to 21,000 blood vials. Alright, so these dogs, they have killed me before. I'm going to try my darndest to not let it happen again. Alright, one of them noticed us. So you do not want to let these things gang up on you, because if you do that, you are dog meat in no time flat. Come on. There you go. So pull them away one at a time as best as possible. This might be a job for our pebbles. You'll see just that one did that kind of damage to me, so just imagine how much a group of them will do. So I think this might be a job for pebbles. I'm going to go ahead and put our pebbles on. I know I have some. There we go. Or actually, I might even just... If I can hit him with a pebble, I can hit him with a Molotov, right? Let's try this. There we go. Oh, I didn't even see that one over there. Do not want to mess around with these things. You'll see a snatcher down there as well. Alright, come on. Come after me. If you're just going to bark, I'll do that to you. Okay. And you'll see the snatcher and two dogs next to him. Alright. There we go. Before we proceed, I want to go back to where that pig came from, because there's some stuff. Bolt paper. So this is the bolt version of fire paper, as you could imagine. So instead of buffing your weapon with fire, it buffs it with bolt. Some enemies in this game are weaker to fire, some of them are weaker to bolt, so really just use your discretion when it comes to which to use. I use them both. Situation dependent, of course. Alright, so this part can be a little bit tricky. Oh! I did not see that dog. He came out of nowhere. Guess he must have been hiding behind there or something like that. But no mind, we'll get him just like we got all the other ones. Whoops. Hey! You're not allowed to do that. Okay. So this part is tricky. We got a snatcher and two dogs. Not a good combination. If I can sneak up and get a Molotov and kill these two dogs with one hit, and then I'll take the snatcher on separately, that would be perfect. But they are guiding something good, especially if you're going for more of an arcane build. I want to show you... Oh, it only got one of them. Alright, fortunately the dog's going to come way quicker than the snatcher, so we'll get the dog first, and then we'll worry about the snatcher. First form snatchers are pretty slow. Alright, let's get our Kirk Hammer back on. Bait his attack. Ha! Is that all you got? Alright. So the sword version of the Kirk Hammer is a much faster charge attack, so I transformed to that to get the backstab just because it's way quicker than charging up the full Kirk Hammer. Alright, got him. Twin Bloodstone Shards. Excellent. So over here we have the Tonnitrus. This is, especially if you're going for an arcane-based build at this point in the game, the Tonnitrus is a very good weapon to have. It's quite powerful. It is a lightning-based weapon, let's see if we can equip it. We can. So, as you see at this point, it scales with a D in Arcane, but it has Bolt Attack. So if you equip it, you'll see it has, you know, does lightning damage. Now, when you transform it, instead of it actually physically taking a different shape, it buffs it with the lightning damage for a certain period of time, and you can do some pretty solid damage on this with this on enemies. It is very short range, but it's got some quick attacks. And again, if they're weak to bolt, or if you have more of an arcane-based build, this weapon can do some damage here. You'll see that its physical attack is weak, but it does do the bolt damage. And I don't know, I don't use a Tonnitrus a whole heck of a lot, but again, play around with it, just kind of see what you like to do, and maybe you'll like this weapon. And I've seen people that basically use it for the majority of the game, so it is a very powerful weapon and very good to use if you learn how to use it effectively. So, all that being said, that is it for Yahar'gul the Unseen Village at this point in the game. I've shown you all I can show you right now. As you can see, the enemies do not mess around. And you can see these enemies all respawned. I don't care, I'm just going to run back to the lamp. Oh, he drew me in, but I got away from him. Okay, cool. I'm just going back to the lamp. I just want to warp back to the Hunter's Stream. We've done all we can do. We've seen all we can see. So I'm warping back to the Hunter's Stream. So as you can see, you know, these enemies are tough. They do give you lots of blood echoes, so there's that. I'm not going to spend my blood echoes yet, and we'll see why in the next video. But this one's already getting kind of long, so we're going to cut it here. And thank you again so much for joining me in this adventure. It means a lot. So in this video, we killed the blood-starved beast. We made our way into Yahar'gul Unseen Village, at least the portion of it that is available to us at this point in the game. And we also covered perhaps what is my favorite blood vial farming route in the entire game, at the beginning of the game as well as at the end of the game. So if you find yourself in a pinch, you might want to use that route as well. If you like what you see in this walkthrough, please join the squad by subscribing to the channel, and don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. I would love to hear everybody's feedback, what you think I am doing well, what you think I could improve on. If you're struggling with anything and have any questions, I would be happy to answer them as well. Thank you so much for your support, and I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.